Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ain't You a Peach? I'm Jamie, and this is Leb. And today we're going to talk about Don't Look Up. If you haven't watched it, you might not want to, because we're going to spill the beans. So, how are you doing today?
Hello, my dear. I am well, healthy, breathing, frustrated. You know how it is when computer stuff decides to not do what it is you want it to do and goes, yeah, I think I'll do this anyway. But other than that, been a good week as far as I can tell. All my fingers and toes are still attached and working. I'm still breathing. I probably smell like I've been gone for a week, but no, I'm still here. How has your week been?
Oh, it's good. I'm probably like you. Yeah, but at least we're on radio, so nobody can smell us.
Yes, we don't have smell-o-vision. We are just on tubes of view.
But yeah, it's been a quiet week. Things are slow work-wise. They're busy, then they're slow, then they're busy, then they're slow. You never know when there's going to be work in there. So it's always like that. Everybody's got their, because I work doing medical records. So after the year ends, everybody has to start their deductibles over. So people avoid going to the doctors unless they have to. And once they've built up their deductible and all the other copays and whatever they have to pay, then they go and get all their other stuff done. So it kind of, right now,
so
nobody's going to the doctor.
Or what happened there?
I have no idea. You went kablunk.
I did. I looked up, all my lights are still lit on the modem, and then it said connecting, and I didn't disconnect.
Yeah, that was definitely kind of
odd. I need a new provider. The first of the year, they're supposed to be putting fiber optics in through the power company. But $100 a month.
Ooh. Well. So did you rewatch the movie, or are you going like me on just remembrance? Actually, I did take a bunch.
Well, you said you had taken notes.
Yes,
I didn't take notes, so we are going from my memory.
I don't know. It was like I just felt the need. When you feel the need, then you feel the need.
The bee's knees.
Notes up there.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes. There's a little snippet in the paper with spoiler alerts, but while you're digging out notes, shall I thing my do?
Well, I sent them to you, but that's only so I can get to them because they were on my phone. You know how it is? You got to do what you got to do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know how many of y'all watched this movie. It was very interesting because I've gotten to where I really don't watch a whole lot of movies, especially with the big wig people in it, because of the fact that a lot of them are so dirty. You know, they got a lot of blood on their hands.
Literally, I presume.
Well, I just I don't know, just the things I found out about the child trafficking and all that kind of stuff. It's like most of them are involved, and
Oh yeah, that's very rampant in the entertainment industry.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just everybody kept saying, "Oh, gotta watch this movie, gotta watch this movie," and so I figured, okay, I guess I better watch this movie. So here I am. I watched
Well,
it.
while you're digging up your notes, do you want me to
I
do the
got it.
Halo? Oh, okay.
Yes, you do the halo. I don't know why I didn't just do that to begin with. Go ahead. Your turn.
Background tunes or no? No.
Um,
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah,
You got
get
it.
'em.
Good afternoon, my fellow. Ain't you up, Peachers? Happy Sunday. It's the 21st day with 344 still to go in 2022. Hey, there's some music. Today is National Handwriting Day. That encourages us to put pen to paper and write out our thoughts. According to the Writing Instrument Manufacturers Association, that's the folks that make the pens, it is a chance for all to re-explore the purity and power of handwriting. While technology speeds up the writing process and makes communication more efficient worldwide, there's something to be said for writing something out longhand. It's also National Pie Day. No, not March pie. This is the edible kind that celebrates one of the nation's favorite desserts. No matter how you slice it, pie in just about any form makes a crowd happy. There's fruit pies, berry pies, cream pies. And the very first cream pie appeared, or the very first pies appeared around 9,500 BC in Egyptian Neolithic period, or the New Stone Age. And pie throwing as a humor, the first cream-filled or topped pies are favorite props of humor. Throwing a pie in a person's face has been a staple of film comedy since Ben Turpin received one in Mr. Philip, no, not Mike, but Mr. Philip in 1909. It's a day 679 of 14 to flatten the curve. Thank you, Liberty Lighthouse, who was on last night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Why did the banana go out with the prune? Because he couldn't get a date. I thought you'd appreciate that one.
Question.
Answer.
Do you think we'd get in trouble if we threw a pie in Joe's face?
In whose face?
Joe. You know, Mr.
Ooh, have some pie, Joe. Joe Pie. Joe, your pie. Yeah, you'd probably end up going to jail for.
I know.
And
Assaulting
spend
the
time
president.
with Bubba. I have no desire to
Hey.
spend time with Bubba, but Pie and Joe, Pie
Okay.
Joe or Camilla by the toes, either one would be great.
So I don't know how many of y'all have watched it. Don't look up. It has Leonardo in it, DiCaprio, and Meryl Streep, and it's about a metaphoric what you call it, coming down like a meteorite or whatever,
Right, it's a
coming
meteor.
down and coming down and destroying Earth, not just like a little thing, but destroying the whole world.
Yeah, this was like 15 kilometers. It was a big one.
So the interesting, to me, the interesting things about it were okay, per se characters. And you know, I think you said something about it before I watched it, is to look and see who all I saw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this was my little thing, and I know some people are differing on parts of it, but to me, the president, which was played by Meryl Streep, was Hillary. Then she also had her son as a sidekick. I don't know what he was, but
Chief of
he was
staff.
always chief of staff. Okay, to me that was Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Bash man. Bash is the phone, which we'll get into that in a little bit. To me, that was Gates. A lot of people are going back and forth on that, saying that they felt that it was Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else said they thought it was Fosse. Then there was a show on that was portrayed throughout the movie called The Rip Show. To me, that was Kelly Ripa and Michael Strahan.
Yes.
So that was my characters. Now I know you said you kind of went with was it Gates or Job that you went
Well,
with?
now in the paper, my regular print paper, they have a write-up about the movie Don't Look Up, and as they called it, a spoiler alert, and they pointed out people who were, various characters.
Right.
They didn't mention Hillary as we did. They didn't mention Hunter as we did. Why would they? It's the paper is USA Today, and it came out January 9th of this year. So it's a left-leaning rag to start with, so they're not going to point out the left
least.
people.
Yeah.
But they did mention Steve Jobs as being the phone guy, Bash, in the movie. The character's name is Bash. And he was running around with a phone, very insecure. Now, I don't know that much about Steve Jobs. If memory serves right, wasn't Jobs the one that created Apple? Did he do Apple?
Yes, he's the Apple person.
See, that would be computers. Now, the computer stuff I could understand because they did talk in the movie. Well, this angle, and
well, I mean,
you have a
he
hard time
does
with
have
Galapagos.
a phone.
I have a hard time with algorithms. Damn it. I can say it in my head, but I can't get it out past my tonsils.
Well, I mean, he does have a phone though. Which that's how I understand that everybody's, because we are talking about a phone thing. Okay, and so people understand what Bash is okay. If you watched our show, I believe it was 2 weeks ago when we did the Black Mirror, and it was on the social scoring. This had a similar thing to it. It had a social scoring system on it. And it also, like a couple of the videos that we've shown before, where, that it's supposed to make things easier. You can set your doctor's appointments up, and it can tell if you are sick. It can tell if other people are sick, all this doodad stuff. And that's why I relate it to Gates, because Gates is to me, if we do end up with a social scoring app, I believe that Gates will be behind it because he is so invested in the whole COVID thing.
Right.
The vaccines and stuff.
Right. But to the show, they're using the phone, and Gates isn't associated with phones. Whereas Apple phone, lots of people have the Apple phone. But you know what a lot of people don't have? And they need to have more of is APR coffee. That's right. People need to get on over to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and check out that coffee. Get in the coffee club. That's the only way you get the spiffy, nifty, under the table. I have my Ain't You a Peach glass too. Unfortunately, mine has grape juice in it. Well, old grape juice.
Yep.
So yeah, if you go over to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, and you can find all kinds of flavors. There's the Bells, there's On the Roof, there's the Bacon Blast, there's your Anus Hurts, and the one that the Daily likes, Brad's Brown Bag. with the bell so we don't miss it. They got good candy too. So get on over to American Pride Roasters and check it out. But
The
the
chocolate
show,
bark is awesome.
they definitely were pushing in the movie the phone gig. So yeah, I could see where Jobs would have more of a driving force with phones as compared to Gates. Now, Gates is the eugenist and wants us all croaked. No doubt about that. I mean,
see, that's the only reason that I'm going. That's the only reason I'm going with Gates is because Gates is so, he has all the know-how. You know, he's the world's, what do they call it now? The world's most famous doctor. He's not a doctor. I mean,
no, he's
I mean,
the most
it's like
highly paid person in our government. That's for certain.
well, no, that's Fossey. I'm talking about Gates.
Oh, Gates, I'm sorry.
Gates is literally, look up the most famous doctor. I think it's most famous doctor or most important doctor or something. And he's not a doctor. He's a doctor of computers, maybe. You've never seen that? Oh God, that came out last year. Yep.
No, I hadn't seen anything like that.
Let me see if I can find it.
Do that, because what the movie basically was trying to poke fun at is those of us that have not received the jab. They're playing off the meteorite that you can literally look up and see in the sky. Even in Grande's song, I have the lyrics saved. We can go through that. They say, you know, it's all a spin-off. The trust the science, trust the science. Science is good. If you don't believe the science, you're a dumb butt. And that's what they were trying to play it off on. They were trying to make
everybody on the radio can't see it, but I'm showing it to anybody who's watching the video. Meet the world's most powerful doctor, Bill Gates. I mean, he's not a doctor.
Yeah, no.
He just, you know what I mean? That's why I relate him to the phone thing, because
might have a doctoral in computer sciences, but he's not a doctor by any stretch of the means.
Exactly. So, the whole gist about the movie is this meteorite that's supposed to be going to hit us. Leonardo DiCaprio is the scientist or whatever who, one of his students found it. They worked in discovered it. Observatory type of setting, and she discovered it, told him about it, and they did all the number stuff on it, and it showed that it was going to hit Earth in about 7 days, and that it was so big that it would destroy the world. And when he approached the president, whom, like I said, I feel was Hillary, she kind of laughed and tried to shovel it under the rug and all this other kind of stuff. And part of the reason that I think that it was Hillary is they zoom over to this picture of Hillary and Bill. So there's a lot of things. That was one thing my niece told me when I watched it. She said, pay attention. There are a lot of things in there. And she was right. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was kind of funny the way they kind of tried to shovel it under the rug. There you go again.
I don't know what it is. I'm not doing anything. And all my lights are still lit on the modem, because I mean I'm sitting. It's the end of my fingers.
So there was a lot of funny things on this. It was brought up that the president snuck around smoking, and when people found out about it, her ratings actually went up. So she started doing it in front of everybody. Let's see, what else was there? I already said Bash, the phone thing, was equivalent to the social media score thing. And let's see. And that's all I can talk about right now. So, but I mean, there was a lot of stuff in this movie, and I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I don't know how many of y'all trust your government right now, but I don't. So, what do y'all think if a meteorite was going to hit us in reality? Do you think they'd tell us?
Oh Lord, no. No, they'd let us. This is really a play to the masses for COVID.
You think?
Trust the science. Trust the science. Yeah, they don't get for those people that haven't gotten the shot. Well, no, don't get no. All you have to do is look up and you can see it's right there. That's what they're trying to play it off as. But in reality, like most things, when the left tries to poke fun at those of us that aren't as nutso as they are, they generally tell specifically what it is that they're doing by saying that we're not doing what we should be doing because of what they want us to do. Now, if they had gone over to Romika Designs, maybe, and got one of those old Christmas ornaments that says, half a fire truck all over it. Oh, well, now there's a PD, there's the Mojo, right? I've got one of each myself, and you can get all kinds of goodies over at romikadesigns.com. And if you use the promo code of Mojo50, you can save yourself some dough. They've got the COVID shot glasses and everything right on over there at Mojo50. Real easy to find. They should have had that plug in the Don't Look Up movie, but they didn't bother asking us. Otherwise, I would have made that suggestion. But yeah, the movie basically is pushing or poking fun at the right for going, hey, look, there's election fraud. Hey, look, COVID Rona is a crock of crap. And what they're doing in the movie is making fun or poking light at those of us that believe those things by going, oh no, just believe the science, look up and you can see it. And it's like, well, okay, just look around you and see what's going on. But do they, will they? No. But that's what they had the movie for. And it does have some great scenes in it. It really does. Let's
I mean,
see.
It was funny, but it was funny in a way that, as my niece put it, her husband laughed throughout the whole thing. He thought it was hilarious. I mean, like hysterical hilarious, right? And she kept telling him, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's like they're just putting things in front of us and laughing at us. They're mocking us. And she was laughing at things not for the reason that he was laughing at them. So he didn't get it.
I believe it.
He just thought it was just a funny movie. Just, ha ha ha, this is hilarious.
Well, let's see. They took a normal, happily married individual whose whole family happened to be on pharmaceuticals. Did you notice when that one little phone call? Oh, yeah, his meds are good, my meds are good. Oh, I'm about a 4. Oh, okay, that's better than before.
Yep. And they all had some sort of neurological, like autism and
well, not autism, various... but a neurological disorder of some sort.
Yes. So they were all, antidepressants or neurological medicine, something that you have to stay on all the time. And yeah, it was crazy.
So says the doctors, right? Well, that's what was funny. They were poking fun at all the prescription mental drugs that the country's on. They poked fun at not believing science, in their words, but yet they're the first to not actually listen to science. It was quite funny. They had, let's see, didn't they even go to, they went someplace frozen at one point on the plane, did they not? Weren't they getting off? And it looked like
we'll talk about that on the next. We'll talk about that on the next half. That's the next half. But another thing that we're poking fun of is the meme thing. The girl that freaked out on the Rippy show because they weren't taking it serious enough. all of
Mhm.
a sudden, all these memes came out about her with all these crazy faces and all that kind of stuff. So it was the social cancelization, all of that. It was really funny. We're fixing to go into a break in about a minute ish, give or take.
A minute-ish.
A
Yeah,
minute
they
ish.
had some funny memes of her, and all she did was get upset.
Yeah,
And
because they weren't taking it serious. You know, we're
no,
talking the end of the
well, we'll just put
world.
it off and wait. We can chill. We'll do that next week. Typical what the government, I do believe,
Exactly.
would do.
Well, if the world doesn't end before this half is over, then we'll see you on the other side. I was going to look up some numbers and I totally forgot to do that. You know how
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
numbers all play a thing in,
Okay.
you know,
Hey, Deb.
life.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Magneto. How's everybody doing on a Sunday afternoon?
That I totally forgot.
Wasn't it the Mamas and Papas? Sunday afternoon. Oh no, that's Monday. Sorry. That'll be tomorrow. Although tomorrow never comes.
Yeah.
That was a good show too, come to think of it.
What?
Bugsy Malone with Scott Baio. One of the songs was something about tomorrow never comes or something, kind of a bluesy thing. It's a kid show, but some of the songs in it were pretty good. Oh, I thought so.
I usually like
strange.
the music. I like the music in most movies. And then there's movies that I will be completely turned off because the music sucks.
So how did you like yesterday's movies and TV's theme songs?
It was awesome.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I hate gray weather.
Gray, it's sunny here.
It must be nice.
My roommate keeps saying we're fixing to get snow again, but I looked on the weather thing and I don't see anything. So we didn't get anything
dude.
last time. It literally snowed all day and not a thing. And here we go. Welcome back. So, if you missed the first half, we are talking about the movie Don't Look Up and all the little things that they threw in there to kind of, hey, look at me.
To hide in plain sight is the best way to be inconspicuous.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, it goes with the movie Don't Look Up. What's Don't Look Up? They didn't want you looking up because that was where the meteorite was coming from. It is the same thing to me as the way that they blind people from the truth,
mm-hmm.
or misinformation. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so. Try doing internet searches on a few things. A few weeks ago, I was trying to find pro January 6th data online. None. Every single story I came across was anti-January 6th, every single one. So yeah, the folks driving the boat are controlling the narrative. They want you scared,
All that
and
money.
it's so they can make money. Yeah, I know. Don't you just love the fact that climate change? We're gonna sink. The sea levels are rising. Yet, Bam Bam just
That
spent.
is a whole nother story. I might have to send you the video that I sent Brad and Ron and let you watch it, and we'll have to do a show on this weather manipulation.
Oh, cool. Well, I thought it was funny that climate change, the polar ice caps are going to melt, and everybody on the coast is going to be flooded. Mm-hmm. But Bam Bam just bought an $8 million house for him and Michael right on the water. So
see, that has always been my question: is these big, huge houses that are right on the beach of the ocean, not a lake or whatever, but on the edge of the ocean, and these rich people that are throwing this agenda at us are telling us that the waters are going to come up and blah, blah, blah. So answer me this. Why did you buy a house on the beach then? And B, why aren't insurance companies, why would they insure something that supposedly is going to flood out in a few years?
Exactly. That's part of what they were doing in the movie. Don't actually check things out. And like you were saying from the movie, don't look up. I think they were referring to a lot of things. Don't look for yourself into information. Trust literally them. Don't look up the information from online if you can find it. Just do what we tell you to do, how we tell you to do, when we tell you to do, and if we tell you to do. But it's crazy.
So, something else that jumped out at me, and I mean, it didn't really have anything to do with the movie, but it kind of probably did, is there was a concert, Ariana Grande. And that was one thing my niece told me. She said, pay attention to her. And I didn't get it until I saw this. During her show, the way her hair was fixed, it was in these devil horns. Like, it was fixed in a way to where she had devil horns on her head. And, they're all like singing and partying and all this other kind of stuff because it's going to be the end of the world. And this is like your last concert that you're going to get to go to and all that kind of stuff. And it just seemed very ironic to me that she had devil horns on her head.
Did you look at the words
to the songs?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Let's see. We knew no bounds, fell at the speed of sound. That sounds all right. Riding against all odds, but soon against ourselves. Okay. Your haunted memory. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. With no goodbyes, all bad for me. Your pride put out the fire in our flames. Okay. Now she does that, and she has a few other lines there, and then her kid Cody, he comes in and sings, and he's been dealing with the madness, and he wasn't the man that she needed. Just crap with the song. And then her next stanza is look up. What he's really trying to say is get your head out of your ass, listen to and I won't use that word, the GD, a qualified scientist, which spin off of COVID. Listen to the scientists. We know what we're doing. We really fire trucked up, but they use a shorter version. Fire trucked it up at this time. It's so close. I can feel the heat big time. And you can act like everything is all right. That's our government. Act like everything is all right. But this is probably happening in real time. Celebrate or cry or pray, whatever it takes to get you through the mess we've made, because tomorrow may never come.
That's true. So at the end of the movie, basically, I don't know if anybody's ever seen The 100. It's where something happened on Earth and the people
nuclear war
gathered into a spaceship and they lived for so many years up above, And eventually they sent down people to see if Earth was habitable again.
Correct.
Well, the end of this was similar to that, where her and her connections had a ship that would take them up, and they went in these little sleeper things so they could sleep until they could
Cryogenic
find
pods.
right. And she leaves her son, by the way. She literally forgets to get
Oops.
her son.
She just forgot him.
But it reminded me of the 100. And the only people that were allowed on it pretty much were the people that were connected to them, the lobbyists, the oil people, the rich people, you know, the
They
people
had room
who
for
were
2,000.
right for followers. They were followers of Peter, which is the phone guy. And they ended up losing, I think they said 47 people during this time up in space and stuff. But the thing that really cracked me up was going back to the phone thing. It had something on it which you could choose to or choose not to look at that would tell you when and how you're going to die. And during one part of the movie, she keeps looking at him going, okay, so when and how am I going to die? No, never mind. I don't want to know. And then how am I going to die? And he finally tells her that she's going to die. He doesn't say when, but he says she's going to die. She's going to be eaten by some kind of bronchi something, another dinosaur. So at the end, it shows the scientist and his family and everybody. They're holding hands and they're praying, and they're, you know, the walls are collapsing in as this thing hits. And, you know, it's like the Christian thing. And then it
Right.
shows the other people that are just like celebrating and partying. And then it goes to them up there on the, you know, on their little capsule and stuff. And they finally come down and they land. And she gets eaten by Bronca something.
Yeah, had a big chicken Bronto burger snacked on her. Yeah,
Which I thought
foreshadowing.
was hilarious.
Well, and the funny
To
thing
me.
was when they kept talking about how is it that they're going to die, the Steve Jobs character Bash told our scientist, who was a kind of a putz in the first place, that he was going to die alone and
Yes.
without anything. And it was quite the opposite. He died with family, friends, surrounded by love. So that was a
Yes.
contradiction. And
Yes.
the 22,000 year cryogenic space trip to the new habitable planet that had the raptors that are, I should say, the chickens with the thyroid condition that decided to scarf down on old Meryl Streep. That would have been a tough bird to swallow, but evidently in the movie they did it anyway.
Well,
So,
it was
yeah,
funny
that-
because they actually described it in this article as oh god, where'd it go? Meryl Streep sees a strange Dr. Seuss-like creature and she approaches it with wonder. My goodness, what is that beautiful creature? And the creature promptly eats her.
Yeah.
It's
Doesn't she say beautiful bird in the show? What
It's
a
a
beautiful bird.
Bronteroc.
Right.
I just thought that was my favorite part of the movie, was her getting eaten. Now,
And she
seeing
did.
all
She
the
got
naked
ate.
people at the end of it was not a very good part, because they're all naked when they come off of that thing, and literally they did
Well-
not cover it up.
No, nobody. And if you think about it, they had all just stepped from cryogenic chambers. So, yes, if you're in a cryogenic chamber, you're going to be in the buff. So, unless they packed at least jumpsuits, which evidently they didn't, because they would have walked out clothed. Another analogy, perhaps, to Adam and Eve being naked in the Garden of Eden, until, unlike Eve eating the apple, the chickens decided to say, kind of tastes like people.
I know, it was crazy.
It was that. But you know what they didn't have in those cryogenic chambers?
Hmm.
They didn't have one of those pillows from Mike Lindell over there at mypillow.com. They could have gotten them
True.
before they left. I mean, because the character in the movie had money up the wazoo, but all he had to have done is gone over to mypillow.com, scrolled over about 3 boxes, and then down there where it says radio specials, click on that. Yep. Use the promo code MOJO50, and you can save as much as 66% off on some of the stuff. That's a fantastic savings. All you have to do, Mojo50 for the savings at mypillow.com. That was a good movie, though. I thought it was good.
It was interesting.
The what?
It was interesting.
It was. They told a lot about themselves. And in Ariana's song, the last lines of it are so classic. It's just look up, turn off that Shiza box news. Boy, they got that right. Because you're about to die soon, everybody. Oh, that's everybody got the job. Oh, I look up. Here it comes. I'm glad I'm here with you forever in your arms. End of song.
I mean, it's an interesting. It's an interesting movie. It was worth watching. But I mean, I wouldn't have watched it, I think, had people not, if that wasn't all that I was hearing. Oh, you gotta see this movie. Oh, you gotta see this movie. I mean, that was all I heard for a week.
Well, I'm not a huge DiCaprio, Leonardo. Da Vinci was pretty cool, but Caprio, yeah, he got a little too political, and we've got to get rid of the, as Al Gore would say, the SUVs that are destroying the planet. Yeah, have another drink. I couldn't spell potato either, but oh, that was Dan Quayle, not Al Gore. Sorry, wrong guy.
Well, if you haven't watched it, it's worth going and checking it out. It's you know, like I said, I'm not into DiCaprio or Meryl Streep. I think they're both a bunch of government-owned floozies. But I thought it was an interesting movie.
I was kind of thinking that maybe DiCaprio's part was an analogy for Fauci, you know, being the scientist. I know this, I know that, but Fauci doesn't. He's manipulated it. I still like the redhead. What's her name? Lawrence something. Not Vicki Lawrence. That was the singer. Jennifer Lawrence. The little redhead, the one that the memes were made out of.
Yeah, I can't remember her name now. Drawing a complete
Jennifer Lawrence.
brain fart. Was it? Yeah, it was Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
But in the paper, when he goes back on TV the second time and he does his breakdown and says, "Look, you dumb SOBs," he doesn't phrase it quite that way. We're all gonna die. They were making in the paper, the article, they made the analogy that was a spin-off of the show Network, where the character opens his window, sticks his head out, and says, "I'm mad as hell and not gonna take it anymore." Everybody remembers that rant. Well, that's pretty much what they did here for comedic effect with DiCaprio's character, because everything was hunky-dory. There was no reason for him to wig out at that point in the show while being on air. Everything was fine until, it was out of his character to do that, to go wigging out. He should have taken the other half of his Xanax, I do believe, or just to prove the fact that everybody is doing drugs. It's running around the planet, or at least here in the States. That's kind of how they played it off. Well, that's how I perceived it. A definite ding against the right for saying we believe in science, to genders, to, them going, "Oh no, you got to listen to the scientists. Whatever the scientists tell you, we're right. We're right." Yeah, not always. That's what I got out of it. But what do I know?
Well, I hope we didn't spoil it for everybody, but yeah, it was worth talking about it. At least to me, it was. But yeah, I hope everybody who hadn't seen it at least takes the time to watch it. And
Definitely. I don't think we
look
gave
for,
enough of it away, even talking about it, for people to go, oh, that's what happened. Now they might watch and go, oh, I see that. Oh, okay.
right,
Yeah, there is a
right.
lot of subtleties, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of things that you have to watch to catch. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I
pictures
hadn't have been
and
told, which I don't know, the difference in me watching a movie now and watching it like I used to watch it for the comedic or whatever value of it
entertainment
is
value.
different now, because now I'm more looking for symbols and things like that in most of the stuff that I'll watch. So things tend to jump out at me, you know, things that most people would not catch, like pedo signs and demonic things, satanic, Illuminati, things like that. So
Right.
now it's like I can watch something and go, ooh, you know.
Well, and they mentioned in the movie the Planetary Defense Force, and there is an actual
Well, did you
organization, the
notice?
Planetary Defense Force.
Did you notice they had bash hyphen or slash FEMA? Yeah, they had the whole big symbol and it had bash and FEMA together, like as a group. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Might watch it several times and see other things.
I've
There's
seen
a
it
lot of
twice so
stuff
far.
there. Oh, I don't know if I can handle though going torturing myself. So are you ready for oops. Sorry, wrong one.
And now, it's time for Spaced with Leprechaun.
I'm a huge space nut.
Either that or I'm just a nut. I'm not sure which it is. It is a space nut or just a nut. It's funny that we're talking about the movie Don't Look Up, which is about an asteroid coming in and taking out the planet that we so happily call home. I found an article in the Sun from December. So it's last year, old news, old news. Jamie Harris is the one who did it. And no, not you, my dear Jamie. This is a different one. They spelled it wrong. They put an E in it, so it's a Jaime, if you will. They have an actual project going through NASA. And this article is called "The Spacecraft Designed to Crash into an Asteroid 11 million miles from Earth Has Sent Back Its First Photos from Space." The Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART, is currently hurtling through space on an Armageddon-styled mission. Its aim is to try to test tech that could help defend Earth from a potentially devastating asteroids in the future. The spacecraft opened its eyes 2 weeks ago after blasting off from California way back in November, and it's getting a glimpse of its trip. It's taken some 2 million miles from Earth. The slightly grainy shot was made possible using Darko telescope camera on board. And they don't have Darko, so whatever Darko stands for. We have a couple of pictures too we can show.
Well, I have a
The
video
scientists have
too.
been able to make out about a dozen stars near where the constellations Perseus, Eris, and Taurus intersect. But DART isn't due to reach its final destination until September of this year. And then we can get more pictures as it's on its way. What the mission is going to do, the satellite is going to launch a small probe at an asteroid that's orbiting another asteroid. So it's like a little mini moon of an asteroid. And what it's going to do is explode a small charge to push, as they call it, the moonlet, out of its current orbit. thereby, if this works, now it could act just like a pool table. Bing, push that one out of where it's been trucking along quite healthily and happily. And now we've changed its orbit. It bumps something else that bumps something else that does hit us. That's a possibility. But what they want to do is see if they can, in fact, nudge an asteroid off its course. And the one they're playing with is about 740 meters across between its orbits of Earth and Mars. So it's way out, not getting near us. And it's going to smash into the rock at 15,000 miles per hour in an attempt to bang it off its course. I think we have some footage too that shows an animation of what it will look like. Now you realize this is an animation. That's not somebody standing outside with their video camera.
Well, you know how I feel. All of it's animation.
Yeah. Well, but it actually is. That's where those shots come from.
And I will be posting this on Twitter and in the Facebook group for anybody who's just listening.
There's the pretty picture of the rocket.
Looks like a penis.
That's what it'll do. Yeah, it does kind of look penile-ish, doesn't it? Or phallic, I should say. I've had my hands on several satellites. Maybe I've got a couple that have my name on them.
Something else.
Yeah, my brother used to work at JPL, that's Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Pasadena. It's a NASA organization. This is going to fly over. Once it gets there, truck on 11 million miles, pop it out. And that little box of dynamite is going to fly into the rock. Getting closer, closer, closer. Boom. And push it out of the way. Now, will it work?
Yeah.
Who knows? Will it push it into something else? And like I say, act like a pool table and start banging other rocks around. And next thing you know, instead of one zooming by us at, what was it, last Tuesday, we had one go by us that was, as I check, let's see, it's 3,280 feet in diameter and about 2.5 times the height of the skyscraper in the Big Apple. So that'd be the Empire State Building. And the asteroid, that size, hits Earth every 600,000 years. This one is going to approach at 4,400 miles, but it will miss us by how many millions of miles? 1.9 million kilometers. In other words, five times farther than 5 times the distance between Earth and the moon. So not close. But Tuesday, that was a big rock that came by. Big rock. 3,200 foot. If that hit us, all it takes is one.
Okay. I'm not going to argue.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's happened in the past.
If is the key word.
Well, it has happened. Look at Winslow, Arizona. You can go and walk around the mile deep impact crater. Been there. Have pieces of the asteroid here in the house someplace. They got hit with a nickel iron meteorite, big solid chunk of things. Some of them they have different kinds. It's like rocks. There's different kinds of rocks. Some are just conglomerates and stuck together. Some are solid iron.
Oh, me.
When it hits, it goes boom, bigly. That's what they theorize happened to all the dinosaurs. The Chicxulub impact.
I don't know.
And it's relatively easy enough to determine because they found uridium, a very thin layer of uridium.
Is that peed on like lithium or something?
Iridium. Yeah, no, the only place it comes from is from outer space, from asteroids. We don't have it here
Oh.
normally.
I just thought about it. We forgot one thing on that movie on the movie is how the meteorite had some kind of something that was worth money, and they chose to try to get the money out of it as opposed to save the world. I forgot about
Right.
that.
Instead of performing one of the DART project kind of things like we had just talked about them trying. Yeah. The Bass character wanted to mine said rock for
And it
billions and
backfired.
billions and billions of dollars worth of, mineable assets.
It backfired on them.
Just
Well,
a
we
wee little bit.
appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Not sure what we're going to talk about next week. Haven't decided yet. We have to discuss that and see. Maybe we'll talk about that China sun thing or something. Maybe.
I bet you it'll be at least something.
Yeah,
I can
it'll be
guarantee it.
something. I'm
Yeah,
sure it'll be something.
pretty sure.
And we'll try to make it interesting.
We always try to make it interesting.
We
or at least
try.
entertaining.
But yeah, y'all can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, MeWe. We have groups and all those, and Twitter, and on the Mojo page. We're pretty much everywhere. You know?
We are. We're like savoir-faire. We are everywhere.
But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to find something good. I'm thinking about that China sun. So maybe if
China sun. I'll
you
have to
know,
look that up.
the fake sun.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see y'all next week at the same time.